Hi everyone, Steve Crosby here. Welcome to this edition of Monday Morning Musing. This is our second installment on the topic of what is sometimes called father-son ministry, or a father-son paradigm of ministry. Now again, for those of you that are not familiar with it, I would broadly put this in the category of an attempt to do discipling in a way that is better than just the eternal lecture sitting in a room and listen to somebody yak about the Bible. Otherwise, it's an attempt to do something of a transference of life rather than just the transfer of information. The implication is it's not possible to realize the kingdom or experience the life of Jesus, however you want to phrase it, by just the transference of information. So normally in a pastoral or teacher-dominated culture, church culture, discipleship is always about classes, more information. Discipleship 1, discipleship 2, discipleship 3, discipleship 4. When you complete discipleship 4, we'll let you sign the membership pledge and you join the society. So this so-called father-son thing is an attempt to bring human warmth and human interaction into something that is pretty sterile and really dysfunctional. And it's an attempt to recover a more biblical motif of discipleship, particularly a Jewish motif where a rabbi would take someone, you'll come unto me, follow me, and you become, hey, I am of Rabbi so-and-so, and we do life together and that sort of thing. So in its most benign expression, and in its most honorable, let's give the folks that are into this the benefit of the doubt. In the most honorable intent, it's a way to bring human functionality into the so-called discipleship process. But as I said in the opener, this goes bad very easily. I'd like to give you an example of how something wonderful can go bad. Imagine if you're going in for surgery, and you've got the best doctor. This doctor is the best. He's a renowned expert, and passed all his exams, and he's just a brilliant physician. But your physician is having incipient Parkinson's disease, and he's starting to develop a tremor in his hand. Let me ask you this question. Would you voluntarily sign up to have a skilled doctor with Parkinson's operate on you? Would you let that doctor put a knife in you? Of course you wouldn't. But this is somewhat the same idea. There are folks who mean well, and that would be the doctor. And there might be folks who have something to give. But in the process of transferring their skill to you, spiritual Parkinson's develops. And something that could be very beneficial becomes something dreadful, harmful, dangerous, damaging, and life-threatening. Something that could be beautiful becomes something very ugly. The theme of family runs through all of Scripture. It's unavoidable. But even the cults use the theme of family and abuse it. So many a biblical theme can be misused and mishandled. And one of the mistakes that we make when we approach the Scripture and we try to live out the life of Jesus, or try to live out something in a community of faith, is making a big deal out of a minor point. We need to be very careful that we don't blow something out of proportion and into a belief or realm of expression that is outside its limited scope. And that's part of the problem, this whole father-son ministry thing. It has been institutionalized. It has been reduced to a methodology. It's become a legal mandate. It's become something much bigger than the limited scope of that kind of language in Scripture regarding fathers, sons, families, not the least of which is patriarchy, which we don't want to get into. And sometimes people call this saying, well, you know, I believe in having spiritual parents, spiritual moms and dads. Well, that's great. And there's a good expression of that. But for most Protestants, they object very strongly to the idea of a pope. Well, it just means papa. It just means spiritual papa. And I know people in my universe who that's how they choose to identify themselves, as Papa so-and-so. But they object to Roman Catholics doing the very same thing. So the issue isn't, hey, you know, we're isolated to ourselves and we don't receive input from anybody else. No, that's not the issue. The issue is, how does this work in the realities of human dynamics? How solid are the biblical proof texts? And I'm going to tip my hand. That's what they are. They're proof texts that underpin this whole father-son ministry thing. Anything that is born of the Spirit, when human beings get their hands on it, try to methodologically structure it, try to make it a system, a protocol. I've heard that kind of language. We have a father-son protocol. We know we've slipped into some unhealthy places. So we're going to continue on in the next one the next week, and I'll see you the next time. Hey, if you have questions, put it on the YouTube page or put it on the Crosby Cafe page on Facebook, and I'll try to address them for you. See you next time.